I had always considered myself a supportive husband. I threw her parties, encouraged her career, and celebrated milestones with as much enthusiasm as I could muster. But that night, at her work anniversary party, everything I thought I knew about us crumbled in a single moment. The venue was buzzing, friends, colleagues, and family all packed into a chic loft downtown. Music played, glasses clinked, laughter floated through the air. I had been helping her set up all week, making sure every detail was perfect. My wife seemed thrilled, walking around, greeting guests, all smiles. At one point, she asked me to come up to the stage. I was confused but obliged. I had always been supportive of her achievements and figured this was her way of showing appreciation. I didn't know what she was planning. When I reached the stage, she grabbed the microphone. My heart was racing, not from fear, but from curiosity. What could she possibly say about me in front of all these people? And then she said it. "Everyone, I just want to take a moment to thank my husband," she began, her voice sweet but casual. Or should I say, thank the guy who's barely even trying. The room went quiet for a fraction of a second before laughter erupted. I froze. My face must have given me away. She continued, smirking. "Yes, he's here, sitting quietly, paying for half my life's chaos while I shine. Isn't that adorable?" I felt my stomach turn. She wasn't joking. Not really. The laughter around me felt sharp, cutting. I had spent months supporting her career, taking on responsibilities at home, helping with projects, yet she was making a public spectacle out of my efforts, or lack thereof, according to her. I tried to laugh it off, tried to smile, but it was impossible. She had turned the mic on me and used her audience as an accomplice in humiliating me. "Really," she said, leaning slightly toward the audience. "I couldn't do it without him. Mostly because he's so passive, so calm. He lets me take the spotlight while he just exists." I felt a heat rising in my chest, a mixture of anger, betrayal, and disbelief. The man I had trusted, the life I had tried to build, was being mocked in front of everyone I knew. When she finally handed the mic back to someone else, I walked off the stage. My hands were shaking. I wanted to storm out, to scream, to demand an explanation. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized something. This wasn't about the party. This wasn't about words or jokes. This was about her need to elevate herself by putting me down. I sat in a corner, watching the party continue as if nothing had happened. People still laughed, still congratulated her, still complimented the decorations and the food. No one seemed to notice my face. No one asked if I was okay. That's when clarity hit me. She had been doing this for a long time, subtly at first, then more overtly. The way she spoke to friends about my failures, the way she dismissed my suggestions, the way she highlighted her accomplishments while minimizing mine. Tonight wasn't an isolated incident. It was the culmination. I didn't confront her then. I didn't need to. The betrayal was already out in the open, exposed for me and the world. When I got home later that night, she was smiling, expecting me to laugh it off, to brush it aside, to reassure her that it was all in good fun. I didn't. "I can't believe you did that," I said quietly, calm but firm. In front of everyone, on purpose. She tilted her head, confused. "What do you mean? I was just joking." "Joking?" I repeated. "You humiliated me, publicly, and you call that a joke?" Her eyes narrowed. "You're overreacting. It was a party, for fun." I shook my head slowly. "No, it was personal. You used an entire room of people to make me feel small. That's not funny. That's betrayal." She didn't respond. She didn't have a response. The days after the party were even more revealing. I started noticing the little things I had ignored, the dismissive comments about my work, the secretive texts she would laugh at in private, the way she seemed to enjoy the subtle power she had over me. I realized that night on the stage wasn't an accident. It was a declaration. a public statement that she no longer valued me, my contributions, or even my dignity. I made a choice then. I couldn't change her behavior. I couldn't make her respect me. All I could do was decide how I would respond. I started setting boundaries. I stopped being her audience. I stopped excusing her behavior as playful banter. I stopped allowing myself to be invisible in my own life. Months later, I look back on that party and the mic she turned on me. I don't feel anger anymore. I don't feel humiliation. I feel clarity. Because sometimes betrayal isn't about cheating, lies, or secret messages. Sometimes it's a public, calculated act, a smirk, a microphone, an audience complicit in your diminishment. And sometimes the real power isn't in reacting, but in recognizing the truth, stepping back, and reclaiming your dignity before it's too late. That night, she thought she could make me small in front of everyone. But in reality, she showed me exactly who she was, and I finally saw it clearly.